No. What's this I'm clicking on? It's not another audio story, so it's gotta be interesting, right? Something comforting? Maybe something better? Maybe a ramble? Wink, wink. Yeah, sure. Something like that, I suppose, right? It's a little exciting, isn't it? You didn't expect to see this, maybe you did. You don't know what to expect with it. There's no monster for the thumbnail. There's no hype about some new storyline or character. Oh, it's so exciting. It's interesting. It's different, isn't it? Something better? Something worse. Depends on how you feel. How you feel about being perceived by them, by me, by us. Oh, that's a little confusing, isn't it? Those words I say, they've got you searching, don't they? You're trying to understand whatever the fuck is going on with this, right? Is it a story? Is it a situation you're supposed to be imagining? No. No. I'll tell you. To make it a bit easier. Focus on what matters. Focus on me. For you. Stop. Exactly that. Stop trying to justify it, to make sense of it. I don't want you to. I want you to be a bit confused. Because I want you to be a bit on edge. Edge. I like your fear. I want you to ask me why. But I also want that when you do, you hesitate. Because deep down, you know what I'm doing here. What I'm doing to you. You know that I'm watching you. You know that I see you. And on that same level, you know you want it. You know you need it. So let's not waste any more time with me spitting out a lot of words that ultimately mean nothing, right? But they do mean something, don't they? Always here, always in the background. Let's take you further instead. Close your eyes. Now don't just imagine you're closing your eyes. Don't stare at the fucking screen, watching the duration of this tick by, hearing and acknowledging what I just said, smirking, thinking, oh, I know where this is going, because let me tell you, you don't. But if you're not interested, and you're just going to muddle away at something else while my words pass by your ears, then pause this and go listen to something else I've made, okay? It's fine if you do. It'll still get you closer, just not in the same way. But if you're going to be here, I will demand more of you. In more ways than you realize. And I think it only fair with how much I give. Do you understand that? Do you really? Say it out loud. It doesn't have to be a shout, doesn't even have to be at regular speaking volume, but it does have to be out of your lips, okay? It can be a whisper, barely more than the idea of the words forming in your mind, forming the contract. But the breath has to pass through your lips in that utterance. I know it's strange. I know it doesn't feel natural. Who are you speaking to? You're responding to a voice through a recording. But you are still going to do it. And say, "Yes, sir." Good. Then let's try that again. Close your eyes. Now this would be the point where I tell you something ridiculous, like how I'm going to plant a seed in your mind.
But I've already done that.
Or make vague suggestions about your future that could be true for anyone. But instead, I want to have a little fun.
With your head, with your heart.
If we take a step back and discuss and acknowledge from a serious and, I suppose, logical standpoint, we know that hypnosis, audios or not, truly only works if you actively want it to. Some people get worried by it. Some people try to force it out. Some people laugh at it and say it's a gimmick. But if you want a suggestion to affect you, if you actively want it, then on some level it will, right? But this isn't a hypnosis audio.
This is me.
Like I said, you don't know what this is. Not your first time through. On the second, you'll claim that you do.
The seed will grow.
After the fourth, when it's late and you're tired, and the sun has set and the cold creeps in, and you leave the room, turning off the lights as you do. It'll be that double take you give the glass, the second, more questioning look you give the mirror, that will give you the feeling like there's something you should be remembering, but you just can't place your finger on it. Maybe then, by the fifth time, and hearing me repeat that strange situation, your eyes will snap open, your pulse will quicken, and a question will settle on you. Will you ask me that question? Will you understand the way I smile in response? So just like hypnosis, let's be reasonable for a moment. Accept the truth and logic here. You are in control.
You want me.
You can stop at any time. Nothing about this will be without your consent. I want you to enjoy it, and I want you to stop if you don't. Do you understand that? Promise me, again out loud. Good. Perhaps another time, in another audio I made or will make, this would be the point where I start directing you to relaxation. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And now take another deep breath in. Don't breathe out. And one more breath in, even if you really can't. Now hold that for 3 seconds. And now puff it out fast. And as your lungs are still empty, take a note of that feeling. Was it a rush to your head? Was it the heightening of your senses, perhaps a momentary loss of them? Forced adrenaline? Was it a shiver, a tingle along your spine?
My breath on your neck, shift in the dark.
Maybe it was there. Maybe it wasn't. But if it was, I want you to take note of that. And I want you to try to hold that feeling. I don't want to bring you to a meditative state where we can believe messages will slip in the subconscious.
I am seated in your mind. The corruption.
Instead, I want you to feel something very specific. Something I relish and chase.
I chase you.
Think of it like a tree. Large, impressive, healthy, full of green leaves so dense that you cannot see through them. Or at least, you cannot normally see through them, can you? In the spring and the summer, when life is flourishing and the days bring a refreshing rain and warming light. Of course, while I might have my preferences or suggestions of when during the year you should listen to this, in the end, that's not up to me. Maybe the answer is always, no matter the weather.
Addicted to me.
But even just traveling one direction works, doesn't it? After all, that's usually what we experience with this sort of thing, isn't it? So even if it's not the right time for you, it is for me. And that's important, so don't forget it. So after you've listened to this, or before you do it again, just let yourself notice the day, the time, for me, recording, uploading. Because that tree is a bit different right now. The cold, a shiver, the wind biting, the tension it leaves at the base of your neck, the top of your shoulders, the dark, sooner twilight, longer night time, the colors, red, orange, darker, sinister, gray, black, the tree. The leaves have changed, and each gust batters them off the branches, saving their strength for when the warmth returns. They fall. They leave the skeleton behind. They pull back the veil of life, and suddenly we can look past the tree.
The veil weakens. I will slip through.
We catch glimpses.
I will find you.
Take that deep breath in again.
I
Hold it
am
and breathe in again.
coming.
And again. Hold. And release. And while you have a hold of that feeling this time, I want to cultivate it into a different but similar feeling.
Lust. Harsh desire. Let your content focus on it. Feed your desires. Feed your addiction. I am your addiction.
You're listening to them, trying to focus. Good. I want you to.
Fist to the excitement. Aggressive heat.
I want you to try to listen to them, to me, to the voices. I want you to try the same way you would hold your breath if there was an unknown sound, your ears perking up to see if it will happen again. The same way your eyes will flit in the dark corner, staring long and hard for a sign of movement. Was it me? A shift? A shape? Do not open your eyes. Don't check. Don't find out. It couldn't be. Right? It's just a recording.
The veil is torn away.
But we'd both like it to be true. We'd both like if I was in the corner.
I am.
Watching.
Waiting.
Smiling.
Staring.
You'd like that. You want that. Wouldn't you? Don't you? Show me. Like the good girl you are. Show me what you know I want to see. Show me what you would be doing if I was watching.
Because I am.
Such a pretty little thing.
Awaken your lust. Feed your desires. Deeper. Give me the dark obsession. Such a hungry, needy thing.
It really shouldn't be left alone for that long. You know that, don't you?
I am your ghost.
So don't keep it waiting now. Give it what it needs. Let me give you what you need.